0 meters distance. 0 kilometers per hour. 85% battery.
Yeah, ready to go.
0 kilometers per hour. 85% battery. meters altitude. 40 meters distance. 0 kilometers per hour. Recording started. 84% battery. Meters altitude. 51 meters distance. 38 kilometers per hour. 84% battery. meters altitude. 276 meters distance. 44 kilometers per hour. 84% battery. meters altitude. 505 meters distance. 42 kilometers per hour. 82% battery. 145 meters altitude. 743 meters distance. 47 kilometers per hour. 80% battery. 177 meters altitude. 984 meters distance. 45 kilometers per hour. 76% battery. 184 meters altitude. 1,188 meters distance. 31 kilometers per hour. Warning, signal lost. 74% battery. 184 meters altitude. 1,312 meters distance. 49 kilometers per hour. 71% battery. 184 meters altitude. 1,592 meters distance. 50 kilometers per hour. 69% battery. 184 meters altitude. 1,886 meters distance. 52 kilometers per hour. 67% battery. 184 meters altitude. 2,162 meters distance. 17 kilometers per hour. 64% battery. 183 meters altitude. 2,154 meters distance. 50 kilometers per hour. 62% battery. 184 meters altitude. 1,851 meters distance. 57 kilometers per hour. 60% battery. 184 meters altitude. 1,606 meters distance. 55 kilometers per hour. 57% battery. 184 meters altitude. 1,424 meters distance. 56 kilometers per hour. 55% battery. 184 meters altitude. 1,338 meters distance. 57 kilometers per hour. 54% battery.
Hej tackle!
184 meters altitude. 1,313 meters distance. 56 kilometers per hour. 52% battery.
Hej min søn.
184 meters altitude. 1,369 meters distance. 30 kilometers per hour. 51% battery.
Men nu kan jeg godt se,
Warning, signal lost.
Pis.
$183 meters altitude. 1,304 meters distance. 35 kilometers per hour. 49% battery.
Cancel, go home. Kan du se, hvor jeg flyver henne? På vej hele vejen hen over boligområdet her.
183 meters altitude. 1,062 meters distance. 56 kilometers per hour. 47% battery. $184 meters altitude. 760 meters distance. 56 kilometers per hour. 46% battery. $138 meters altitude. 455 meters distance. 55 kilometers per hour. 44% battery. $80 meters altitude. 162 meters distance. 56 kilometers per hour. 42% battery. $18 meters altitude. 18 meters distance. 22 kilometers per hour. 41% battery. Zero meters altitude. 1 meters distance. 0 kilometers per hour. 38% battery. Zero meters altitude. 1 meters distance. 0 kilometers per hour. 37% battery. Zero meters altitude. 1 meters distance. 0 kilometers per hour. 35% battery.
Unbalanced props. For helvede lort. What the fuck?
Warning, signal lost. Recording stopped. Recording started. Zero meters altitude. 0 meters distance. 0 kilometers per hour. 97% battery. One meters altitude. 0 meters distance. 0 kilometers per hour. 96% battery. $57 meters altitude. 217 meters distance. 50 kilometers per hour. 95% battery. $91 meters altitude. 373 meters distance. 48 kilometers per hour. 94% battery. $149 meters altitude. 643 meters distance. 50 kilometers per hour. 91% battery. $153 meters altitude. 944 meters distance. 55 kilometers per hour. 89% battery. $157 meters altitude. 1,250 meters distance. 51 kilometers per hour. 87% battery. $173 meters altitude. 1,551 meters distance. 55 kilometers per hour. 84% battery. $194 meters altitude. 1,859 meters distance. 51 kilometers per hour. 82% battery. $218 meters altitude. 2,145 meters distance. 51 kilometers per hour. 78% battery. 261 meters altitude. 2,439 meters distance. 52 kilometers per hour. 75% battery. 264 meters altitude. 2,357 meters distance. 54 kilometers per hour. 73% battery. 242 meters altitude. 2,179 meters distance. 10 kilometers per hour. 71% battery. 180 meters altitude. 2,179 meters distance. 10 kilometers per hour. 69% battery. 120 meters altitude. 2,179 meters distance. 0 kilometers per hour. 68% battery. 110 meters altitude. 2,169 meters distance. 48 kilometers per hour. 66% battery. 152 meters altitude. 1,870 meters distance. 59 kilometers per hour. 65% battery. 151 meters altitude. 1,694 meters distance. 18 kilometers per hour. 63% battery. 150 meters altitude. 1,569 meters distance. 59 kilometers per hour. 62% battery. 151 meters altitude. 1,249 meters distance. 55 kilometers per hour. 60% battery. 151 meters altitude. 963 meters distance. 56 kilometers per hour. 58% battery. 152 meters altitude. 687 meters distance. 56 kilometers per hour. 56% battery. 151 meters altitude. 476 meters distance. 28 kilometers per hour. 55% battery. 151 meters altitude. 432 meters distance. 58 kilometers per hour. 54% battery. 151 meters altitude. 369 meters distance. 1 kilometers per hour. 52% battery. 109 meters altitude, 375 meters distance, 11 kilometers per hour, 51% battery. "48 meters altitude, 375 meters distance, 2 kilometers per hour, 49% battery." "65 meters altitude, 328 meters distance, 50 kilometers per hour, 48% battery." 104 meters altitude, 264 meters distance, 12 kilometers per hour, 46% battery. 130 meters altitude, 272 meters distance, 44 kilometers per hour, 44% battery. 131 meters altitude, 267 meters distance, 54 kilometers per hour, 42% battery. 130 meters altitude, 287 meters distance, 55 kilometers per hour, 41% battery. 131 meters altitude, 366 meters distance, 18 kilometers per hour, 38% battery. 90 meters altitude, 378 meters distance, 10 kilometers per hour, 36% battery. 57 meters altitude, 378 meters distance, 1 kilometers per hour, 34% battery. 92 meters altitude, 183 meters distance, 47 kilometers per hour, 33% battery. 99 meters altitude, 183 meters distance, 10 kilometers per hour, 31% battery. 50 meters altitude, 182 meters distance, 14 kilometers per hour, 30% battery. 50 meters altitude, 45 meters distance, 38 kilometers per hour, 28% battery. 24 meters altitude, 15 meters distance, 9 kilometers per hour, 26% battery. 2 meters altitude, 37 meters distance, 7 kilometers per hour, 25% battery. Warning, aircraft battery at 24%. One meters altitude, 36 meters distance, 8 kilometers per hour, 23% battery.
Okay, that was a heavy crash. Oops, fuck and shit. Pik og patter. Lort. Fucking lort. And the feet crashed.
Warning, aircraft battery at 20%.
Godt med lige.
0 meters altitude, 0 meters distance, 10 kilometers per hour, 20% battery. Aircraft requesting go home. Zero meters altitude, 22 meters distance, 3 kilometers per hour, 18% battery.
That's how you crash. Excellent crash.
Warning, aircraft battery at 17%.
Gimbal's annoyed.
Zero meters altitude, 0 meters distance, 2 kilometers per hour, 16% battery.